Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Portfolio Manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, June 6th, 5:23 p.m., coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Before we get started, just wanted to announce some new Revere initiatives, and we are extremely excited about it. We've officially opened our centralized X account at Revere Asset, and that handle is constant for Instagram, for TikTok, and for YouTube. So Revere Asset, like my email, Revere Asset at Revere Asset on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So as you know, we already have a YouTube channel, but we are expanding our social media to other platforms, and we plan to post our long form daily videos, weekly podcasts, and weekend videos on X because that platform supports it. And then we are looking to expand into short form content on Instagram, TikTok, on X, and YouTube Shorts as well. So we're really happy and excited to bring that to everyone. We hope you follow, share, and like if you do enjoy our content. So let's jump right into it. Stay the market. We're in an uptrend. Market leaders, if you look at the GROTECTION gauge, we have an uptrend green arrow, short term uptrend as well, medium term, same thing. But long term, we still have a neutral, but that is slowly and gradually going to shift to a green uptrend arrow. And if we get that, we'll have the four coveted green arrows, which means we are in full grow mode. What happened today? Favorable labor market data gives markets a boost. We closed above 6,000 for the first time in months. 21 over 21 list, down up 1.6%. 14 up, 4 neutral, 3 down. Big 8 up 1.8%. RG8 up 2.09%. S&P 500 up 1.03%. RSP up 0.86%. Hughes up 0.98%. QQEW up 0.86%. Dow Jones up 1.05%. Mid caps up 0.99%. Small caps up 1.66%. Global 60/40 equities bonds up 0.36%. Protection up 0.94%. And TurboTaxation up 1.86%. Again, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe to our YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also follow us on Revere Asset on our other platforms as well. So as always, jumping right into the S&P 500. Let's look at this chart. Yesterday we had bearish engulfing distribution day off the Trump and Elon feud, but off the heels of the strong labor market data, we gapped up and closed above 6,000 for the first time in months. So this is completing the couple panel breakout. The weekly shows a completion of the breakout as well on higher volume. So that's extremely favorable for us in the markets. RSP, similar action, but a little weaker than S&P. Hasn't cleared this relative high yet, but trending strongly. Q is also a breakout, continues floating higher. 540 area is next up there. QQEW also closing above this 132.37 level, which triggers that official weekly cup with handle breakout as well. The moving averages are finally flattening and starting to resolve themselves and align in a bullish uptrend. So indexes are looking constructive here. Dow Jones, same thing. Breaks above this pivot, back above all key moving averages, and this looks like 44,000 is coming up next. Mid caps still living below the 200-day moving average and 150-day, but we are kind of breaking out of this flag here. I want to see mid caps participate as well as small caps starting to participate, which we are seeing that begin to happen. See the relative strength line, potentially breaking this downtrend line, break this flat top flag, and we're heading into the 200-day and 150-day moving average here. The VIX continues lower at 16.77. So I talked about this a few weeks ago. We want to stay below 20 and eventually get below this 15 area, live between 10 to 15, and that can really present us a low volatility, smooth uptrending environment. Dollar still just meandering around, nothing too much to say about the dollar. Gold pulls back in the face of a stronger dollar, but also stronger markets, back to the 21 EMA. Gold miners failed breakout so far and fall through the downside on volume as well. Silver remains strong, higher high on above average volume, So this continues to break out. Todd did a segment on silver as well. Perhaps silver is closing in the ratio between gold and silver market cap. And this looks amazing. Multi-month breakout, blue skies ahead. Really no resistance above. Bitcoin, I'm going to jump over to TradingView. I did a huge segment on the podcast talking about Bitcoin and how it is my number one, for me personally, my number one opportunity looking for the next 3 to 6 months. And I describe in detail in the podcast why I believe this is the case. First one is really nice price action forming, coupled with handle, respecting key moving averages, finding support at 100,000 50-day moving average. It's finally back and filled a bit, providing some symmetry in the base and the moving averages to expand and fill in this price gap. Usually you never want a price gap into breakout. That usually always puts pressure and pulls the stock or the asset or security back in. Two, talk about on the podcast, Google Trends data continues to trend down from the highs in late 2024. And then third, large speculators in the COT data continue to go more short. So those are variables that support a attractive proposition for Bitcoin breakout. That said, let's take a quick look at bond yields. 2 years up 11 basis points today, 10 years back above 4.5%, up 11 basis points on the stronger than expected labor market data. So that is it for the inter-asset correlation. Now let's go into the tail of the tape. We're still operating on the bull case. News today, job numbers, non-FAR payrolls, give me 1 second, came in at 139,000 versus 126,000 estimate. Unemployment rates remain steady at 4.2% versus 4.2% expected. And yeah, so markets really like that. Today's keys, S&P versus this range, we closed at 6,000, a little bit above 6,000. Qs, we closed above 530 as well. Day count, consolidation of 18 days to day one up, 9 days above the 8 EMA, 31 days above the 21 EMA, and short-term expectations are positive. Strong sector today, bond yields, which means bond prices were down. Dollar is up, gold and silver down, energy, discretionary, communications were up, ARK-K, Bitcoin and miners, Quantum, and Mag7. No trades in both Grow and Turbo. So 1.15 beta for GROTECTION, 4.35% open heat, 1.43 beta for Turbo, and 5.56% open heat. So we can quickly go through the positions, talk about S&P, therefore we don't have to talk about UPRO. Talk about Bitcoin as well. Let's get into Spotify here. Continues to break out of this flat top base breakout, and we're following through here. Palantir yesterday in GROTECTION, we trimmed, got rid of all of it in Turbo, and this actually bounced right back off the 21 EMA, back above left side peak. So this is looking fine. If this can hold in here, perhaps it just needs to go a little bit more sideways before it continues higher. GEV, owned in both Turbo and Grow, just continues to trend perfectly above the 21 EMA. Amazing frozen rope. Bros, only in GROTECTION, tries to break out yesterday, holding in here today. Perhaps we reemerge next Monday. NVIDIA in GROTECTION is floating higher on the right side. It's 150 arrow will be a huge spot to contend with. Of course, NVIDIA is a GPU supplier to all major AI companies, and they've played a huge role in compute power. Hood, and in both TurboTection and GROTECTION, makes a new high today. Enormous wall of blue volume, and this company is just amazing, gapping up another 2% after hours. This is one of the liquid leaders in the market, and they're expanding in so many different ways in brokerage, credit card, and retirement accounts, gambling, and more. Netflix, only in Turbo as well. It's perfect action, smooth trend above the 21 EMA. HIMS in both Turbo and Grow. Some pretty volatile action, but still holding the 21 EMA. We're forming this high tight flag here. So we'll see where we resolve next week. Now, assets owned only in Turbo. We have Mexico, which remains strong as well, bullish and golfing, still trading above the 21 EMA. It pretty much has tracked the S&P 500 since we bought it, but it's provided some less correlated exposure elsewhere, international, and it's doing its job. Especially there are some days where a lot of leaders are down and Mexico remains flat or up. Ethereum, another crypto name, pulling back a bit. Bitcoin is getting the love now. Back to the 21 EMA, but this is still looking good. Finally, Actually, one more. Uber reclaimed the 21 EMA over 87, and that will be a really good look. A left side peak UNR. And finally, Rocket Lab with the feud between Elon and Trump. Rocket Lab breaks this flag, and this is the second best option after SpaceX. So the bottom line today is favorite labor market data gives markets a boost. And our Monday keys, still watching this range and then watching the same cues range as well. We want to hold above and continue higher. That's the ideal action that we want to see. So that is it. Portfolio updates, own positions. And now let's finish off with the 21 over 21 list. Let's talk about the top 5 to 7 winners and then top 5 losers as well. So first, HIMS, great support off the 21 EMA and these 50-ish, 51-ish lows. Palantir, same thing. After yesterday's huge sell back below the 21 EMA, we quickly reclaimed it. So that is showing buyers stepping up and resilience in the stock. So as long as we hold those lows, perhaps we can build a range here and then break out in the future. CoreWeave, find support around the 5-day moving average, which is plotted on my chart. This is starting to show a parabolic move, but not quite yet, as it's resolving some of the extension. So maybe next week or the week after, we start to accelerate, something like that. And that could really put in the top right there. Tesla, 2 close below the 200-day moving average. Really nothing to talk about there. Hood makes new high, capping up another 2% after hours. Huge volume coming into the stock. Amazing action. Toast, same thing. This is looking to break out here above this 44.21 level. There's enormous earnings, triple-digit earnings in the last 4 quarters, double-digit sales, decent gross margins as well. And toast really is in every food vendor. I ordered Chinese food today for lunch, and they had a toast. So vendors love it, waiters love it, and it's a seamless way for especially restaurants and food vendors to transact and process their payments. Bitcoin already talked about, so I'm not going to talk about it again. Natural gas EQT is setting up the breakout in this cup with handle. Natural gas will be critical to power the data centers and all the electricity that is required in the world. Chewy continues to float higher after the space breakout because people love their dogs. And then NVIDIA, we talked about this already, still in this range, but acting really well. And the moving averages are looking to align and rise. On the downside, Duolingo tried breaking out, reversed so far back in the range. Nothing too worrisome there. Netflix, just a consolidation day. Still perfect action. Carvana tried breaking out, but reversed, but still in this super narrow range, super tight action, just floating higher. Spotify, literally down 0.08% inside day. Nothing wrong there. NRG, only down 0.06. So when our top 5 losers in the 21 over 21 leaders list are acting this well, that is a great sign. And after yesterday's Trump-Elon feud, it seemed like we're going to have a distribution day. Perhaps that was the beginning of another leg down. But strong job market data and just people's short-term memory, we're rallied back up. Leaders are acting well. Indexes are acting well. And the end of the week, great. So we're looking forward to this new Revere initiative. Follow us on our social medias, Revere Asset on all platforms. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. If you're interested in Revere Asset, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com. Twitter is at tedhzhang. Revere's Twitter is Revere Asset. Our phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is Revere Asset. Our YouTube is Revere Asset as well. Please like, share, subscribe. With that being said, this is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week. And just remember, it is not how much you make, but how much you keep that matters.